Hello, yoga mamas and friends. Today I wanted to share a little series on the Virabhadrasana poses, also known as warrior pose. So there's three basic ones. I'll show them briefly for those that aren't familiar. So Virabhadrasana 1 is facing forward toward where your toes are pointing and bending that front knee. In some variations you might reach up, hands apart or together. Virabhadrasana 2, you're opening out to the side. And then Virabhadrasana 3, you come, there's a couple ways to come into it. Maybe you tip and then you reach, or more easily accessible this way from Virabhadrasana 1, you tip forward and then sort of slowly launch off that back leg. Okay. I do have a chair in case I want to show a demonstration of like how to modify these poses, including how to use your chair to actually sit on if you need more support. So go ahead and just stand with a stance slightly wider than your hips. Take a moment to shake your arms and legs, maybe circle your head if that feels good. Sometimes when we practice the warrior poses, we get a little rigid. We try really hard to hold a strong stance, have straight arms, have strong legs. So I like to invite us to bring some openness and fluidity and a little bit of play and fun into it today. So shake it out for a bit. Let your breath flow without much effort. Let's take a wider stance and sort of tick-tock the hips side to side. Just let the arms and the neck and head relax. So this is side to side, and then bring a little circle into it. Do some like kind of hula hoop circles in one direction, and notice my knees can bend with this as I go in that circle. Switch directions. As I do this, my toes are spread wide, and I'm pressing the soles of my feet into the ground firmly. Okay, so I'll bring that to stillness. Take a moment with my hands on my hips, and as I do that, I'm gonna simultaneously open my chest and drop my shoulders. Cool. So as we practice, I don't really want to overthink the alignments too much. In fact, I want to kind of get away from rigid, strict alignments and invite you to place your body in these shapes in ways that feel best to you. So instead of me giving you a prescribed format of the pose, I'll give you a general idea and you play with it. So this is where the playfulness comes in. So let's go ahead and we're going to take the hips and turn them to one side. Doesn't matter which, right or left. And notice as you turn the hips, that back foot pivots. Now gently bend that front knee. Circle the shoulders a few times. We're releasing that tendency to be rigid. Circling them back and then forward. And then as you inhale, bring the arms up. Now when you bring them up, they don't have to be straight up vertical. They can be at an angle. You can have the hands apart or together. You can bend the elbows a little. So I invite you to find what's comfortable for you while still giving you a little challenge. So let's stay here for a few breaths. As you stay, feet are pressing down, fingers are reaching up. Notice where you fix your gaze. It doesn't have to be super hyper focused on one point, but notice, what are you looking at? Or you can even challenge yourself and look around. You can even move your neck and head and look around. All right, as you exhale, bring the arms down. And then we're going to bring a little twisting. So sometimes when we do postures, we stay stuck in one plane. This is like a forward and backward plane. I'm going to try to avoid using anatomical terms. It's just like we're really forward and back. But if we bring twisting to it, here we are now shifting our gaze. We're not just looking forward or fixing our eyes at one point. We're opening up the upper body. The legs stay strong and stable. Looking back to the side, you're doing a little twist. You're breathing. then to switch to the other side, as we twist forward, we'll face the toes forward and continue that side-to-side twist. I love this. I do it almost every morning as I'm making coffee, and it's just such a nice way to wake up the body and loosen up any tension that is built up overnight. All right, so from this twisting movement, we can rotate to the other side and find our warrior one on that other side. Again, we're letting go of that sort of obsession with how far apart the feet are, where exactly the toes are facing. If it feels good, hands on the hips, or you can start to reach the arms up. And remember, as you breathe in, they don't have to go all the way up. They could be forward even. They could be at an angle or up. Hands can be apart or together. Find your own rhythm of breath. Decide if you'll focus the eyes on a point or just kind of allow your gaze to shift around and add a little challenge to your balance as you do that. And the next time you breathe out, arms come down and begin adding that twist again. If you lose your balance as you do this, that's totally fine. This is again where that attitude of play can come in. We're not here to be perfect and perfectly aligned. We're here to play and experiment and sense into our bodies and find positions and variations that feel good to us. Awesome. Now continue this twist again. Turn the toes forward, the hips forward, twist side to side. Okay, so we're going to explore Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2. Turning your toes out on this side, toes in on that side, bend the front knee. And again, we don't need to obsess over, is that knee directly above the ankle? You may have been told it needs to be. If it's not, it's okay. I give you permission to go beyond or not, be somewhere in between. That's totally fine. Kind of put the hands on the hips and see, can I wiggle the hips side to side? I wonder what exact position of the pelvis is just right. I don't know, it depends, right? So just add that fluidity by adding movement in the hips. And then if and when it feels good, as your breath is moving, you can bring the hips to stillness, arms raise up parallel to the ground. Let's take a moment. If you feel a lot of tension in the shoulders, you can inhale and bring the shoulders up, and then exhale them down. Try to do that a few times. Sometimes I really enjoy turning the palms of my hands. And when I do that, you see how it naturally relaxes the shoulders away. Okay. Now traditionally you're looking forward over that front hand at the fingers of that hand. I'm a big rule breaker, rule bender. I love to look back, or even if your neck needs some movement, hey, look side to side and bring some movement and release in the neck. If you need support, there's that chair. If you want to hold that chair to support your balance, totally fine. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Sorry to mention this so late in the game, but if you need support on a chair, you can put your buttocks on the chair like that, and then you don't have so much weight on your legs. You can focus more on what's going on in the arms. All right, so when you're ready, shake it out. Pivot to the front again, and we'll do the same on the other side. Again, tick-tock, the hips side to side. You're just kind of wiggling to see what exact position of the hips feels good. When you're ready, arms go up. You can relax the shoulders however you want, shrugging them or turning the palms up. If you're on a chair, we're doing the same thing, but you're just supported by the chair. Movement in the neck and head if you would like. Breath is moving. Feel your feet on the ground. So we're finding stability in our bodies through these postures, while also maintaining a sense of being fluid and open and relaxed. Again, the chair can be anywhere for support. You can put a hand there. It can be really comforting. Okay. So just whenever you're ready, Straighten your legs out of that. Okay, so we're gonna explore Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. So you're gonna turn to one side. I know I'm starting on the same side I ended on. Totally fine, there's no rule against that. Arms can go up as you bend that front knee. So notice we started in Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. To come into Warrior 3, you're gonna bend that front knee, arms and torso go forward. Sometimes this is a nice challenge here where you're adding a little load and some strengthening as you reach forward. Notice how your body feels when you leave both feet on the ground. If you're ready to take that back foot off the ground, shift the weight. Maybe you use the chair, and if it's on a sliding, if it's slidable, that's nice. And you can use that chair for support. Okay, it doesn't matter how high you lift that back leg. You know, you see people on Instagram and yoga magazines and they're like perfectly horizontal, parallel to the floor. Totally not required. If you want to have that foot almost touching the ground, that is your call. Okay, chair or no chair. If your gaze is fixed, if you want an extra challenge, you can close the eyes. Whoa, it's amazing how much we rely on the eyes. You can even look around and add that challenge. Remember, we're bringing a sense of fun, play, and experimentation. The breath is moving, you're grounded through that standing foot. Breathing. When you're ready to come down, come down. Whew. Okay, same thing, other side. Get set up, starting Warrior 1. Arms go up, exhale, and you can take as long as you need to get there. Hey, if you just reach forward, both feet stay on the ground, that's awesome. That feels good to you, that's great. So the progression goes, you slowly put more weight on that front foot, and then however high up you want to lift that back foot is completely up to you. It may not even be the same as it was on the other side. Use the support of the chair if you want, or not. Fix your gaze on one point, or close your eyes, or look around and add that challenge. Breath is moving, grounding down through the standing foot. Woo! Sometimes I lose balance too, but making sure the breath is moving, that is number one. Okay. Come back to the center, and we're just gonna bend one knee and then the other, and as you do that, let the torso and the arms swing like the branches of a willow tree. So to me, so much of this Virabhadrasana series is creating strength and stability in the legs and maintaining fluidity and openness in the upper body, arms, torso, neck, and head. Another favorite of mine I'm going to share with you, last thing, is coming back to Virabhadrasana 2, arms up from the waist down, fairly stable. And then I kind of just add some movement, nothing patterned or organized, but maybe like a little side warrior, circle that arm around, come back to a reverse warrior, or even outside of that side to side plane, we can kind of twist the torso that way and that way, or we're adding almost like dancing movements with the arms. You can get really creative with this. And the nice thing about this sort of intuitive movement is you break out of those rigid patterns of how you should be positioned. You stop pushing your body to be exactly perfect in a certain way, and you just move with what feels good and right in your body in this moment. Okay, let's take that to the other side. Yeah, I think of trees a lot when I think of these postures. The strong trunk of a tree, the fluid branches in the wind. Yeah, it's not traditional, but you know, so much in modern yoga is not quote unquote traditional. We are constantly modifying this practice to fit our modern lives, our lives as individuals, our lifestyles, depending on what our jobs might be, or if we have kids or not, how old we are, you know, whether or not we've had kids. There's so many factors in how you might form your yoga practice. And that's what I'm here to help you to do. All right. Come back to the center, balance the knees, swing the arms, release tension. Keep your breath moving. And right now to me it feels right and good to end with a little bit of a forward bend. I love Uttanasana, which is a standing forward bend. Different ways to do this. If you want to just do a forward bend with either the hands on the back of a chair or even on the front of a chair for support, this is wonderful, feels great, and is supportive. If you want to move away from the chair, I'm a big fan of bending my knees in this forward bend. You'll notice that it's fine and good to straighten your legs and get a really deep hamstring and calf stretch, but when you bend the knees, there's a certain release that happens in the upper body. So try one of those variations and just be there with your breath. Release all effort in the upper body. Ground down strongly through the legs. Bend the knees, slowly round up. Great, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I invite you to do it again, share it with a friend. I invite you to take these ideas and practice them away from the screen and try your own variation of them. So I hope that you can also sort of move away from your yoga mat and bring these movements and feelings into your day when you're just standing around. I do it all the time when I'm making coffee or watching my kids play at the playground. So let's get creative together and keep our yoga practices alive. Thanks for watching and practicing.